I couldn't really think of a good way to present my journal. It's definitely not a diary because diaries are gay. No, I didn't really know how I could show all of the work and time uh, I've spent developing this sketchbook. Every page has so much intricacy and detail and was its own endeavour entirely. Um, every page has its own individual piece, or occasionally a two-page spread, or four-page spread for the same day, or one-page spread for the same 4 days. Um, Once again, I was looking at creating work for creating work's sake, just trying to focus on my practice rather than whatever would form out of the mess I'd created. I love this book. This book is going to be something I cherish and carry on filling in as I go on. And as soon as it's full, I'm going to do the exact same thing to an identical book. I've pressed flowers for the first time. I have incorporated collage, which I hold so dearly. I've found poems and stories and written poems, and I've also been able to have pages like this, which is just an excuse to do nothing for a couple days. And the fact that this book facilitated that as well as keeping me productive was fantastic. I started reading newspapers again because newspapers offered a fantastic source of material and collage opportunities. Quarantine made me reflect on the massive amounts of tree drawings and my past relationships, everything from friends to family to pets. I've talked about how I winced and reeled back in horror when I first had to destroy and recycle an old sketchbook for my projects, my current projects. I can't go to Hobbycraft, so I have to make do. I learnt about Anne Sexton. I've been looking into poetry, and her death is, although tragic, is artsy as all hell. And I don't know whether that was what she intended, but it definitely came across like that. This is another one of my entries about an all-nighter. I'm currently feeling the effects of one now. Um, the element of crunch time is something I wanted to eliminate from my work this time round. I didn't want to feel pressured into making work because I had to. I wanted to do it because I wanted to. I did a small unicorn because it was my sister's birthday, or I stuck some leaves down because it was a particularly nice day. These small things have been what have kept my practice rooted into reality as well as myself and kept me sane. I've explored different techniques, different forms of printing, different illustrative turns. I've created sceneries and brought in hand experiments. I've now got a dog called John Smiths. My dad named him. He's fantastic. I love him to pieces. I've started drawing characters and creating worlds and all sorts, and this book has just been a really useful tool to keep the creative juices flowing when there seems to be no creative juice available. Yeah, I'm really happy. Every single doodle, every single page, even though these are just notes, they mean more because of the context of this arguably very, very important book. This book represents my entire practice throughout this set of what throughout this quarantine, throughout this semester, throughout this year at university. I'm really proud of myself, and this book is a perfect reflection upon why I should be proud of myself. There is equal amounts of insight and consideration to different stylistic techniques and artistic wavelengths, as well as sticking to the illustrative elements that I wanted to explore more rather than abandoning like I had done with earlier works this semester. This is by far my favorite thing produced over 2020 so far. I know I haven't created a mound yet, but this is something that I could see a much larger and much more expansive set of works coming from. I can understand why all those books were kept in the archive. Maybe one day one of mine could take its place. You never know.